Consistency is a foundation to any success you want to have long term. 2, it helps you become disciplined, and 3, it helps you differentiate between what is important and not important, meaning you're going to do important things. People always think about, how do I be consistent in my good deeds? How do I be consistent in my life? How do I become disciplined? This is something everybody's talking about because of zombie scrolling, because of wasting time in superfluous activities, or just lazing around. We have this culture of laziness, right? So consistency. Firstly, what comes to mind when you think of consistency?
Repetition.
Good.
That's another way of saying consistency.
Good.
But you're parroting a particular thing over and over again, and there has to be something, obviously, hopefully, something useful and something meaningful, and something that's going to benefit your life in some way.
Right.
And it's about doing that again, over and over again, at a dose which is effective for you. I guess that's how I'd see it. That would be being consistent. Okay, good.
What is the Islamic value for consistency? Where do we see this highlighted by the Prophet ﷺ?
The hadith, you mentioned it earlier, where,
the most beloved deeds to Allah are those which are the most consistent, even if they are
small. Yeah.
Why does small matter?
I want you to say this, because you were the one that was sharing the theory with me earlier about how consistent things are small and the relationship between these two things.
So if you imagine there's 2 people that are climbing 2 different ladders. One ladder has steps, which each step is like a foot, right? Like a meter or something. And the other one has smaller steps.
Like 5 inches or something.
Yeah, and the other one has a huge amount of steps. So what happens is that you're going to find it easier to do the ladder with the smaller steps.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, consistency, firstly, is life-changing. So you could, for example, go to the gym every day for 20 minutes, or you can go to gym on the weekend at the end of the month and just go to the gym for 48 hours. Which one's better for you?
Regular.
The regular consistent is better for you, right? In the same way, habits. You are made up of your habits. You do every day the same things. These things add up. So your life is a series of habits. Your habit could be zombie scrolling. It could be just lazing around. So these things are super important, and as Muslims we should have lofty goals, we should have great ambitions, we should be going for great things. And the thing is, consistency is it's not possible to achieve something great except through going through consistency. So consistency is an ingredient which is necessary in order for success to happen. And one of the problems with success of anything, whether it's a degree or it's anything else in your life, you want to memorize the Quran, any goal of success that you have, it's not an event, it's a process. People want a big event, like I'm going to crash this weekend, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, it's a process, and processes are slow. You have to be persistent, you have to be tenacious, and that's what's missing in our discourse today.
Everyone wants to do big things, right? But every big thing requires small steps.
Yeah.
It's like when kids learn how to walk. You've got children. The interesting thing you learn from children, bro, the reason they achieve those milestones in their life is because they're consistent and they're persistent. They will fall 100 times, but the 210th time they'll finally start to take a few steps, and they'll fall. But they don't let the fall stop them from repeating the action over and over again. And it's a meaningful action because it eventually leads to them being able to walk like we walk, right? But as adults, what seems to happen for some reason is we want to achieve big things. It's part of human nature. We want to achieve things, we want to discover things, we want to learn things. But we want it to be in big strides. Like you wake up one morning and you've just become the most pious person in the world. Even from a religious context, you wake up next morning and you're just this saint, When the reality is these things take time, gradual steps. And those steps may be boring, right? People may see them as boring just because the way we unimportant. But each step adds up, to that bigger picture.
And you know what's interesting about this? You spoke about piety and trying to be a better person. Amongst the Salaf, there was a statement of one of them that the difference, actually it wasn't amongst the Salaf, it was later on, that the difference between the pious and the not so pious is the ability to overcome your desires. That's the real difference. Now, what is our desire? The first thing in the morning we have to do is fight our desire because we want to sleep, right? Another thing you're going to do is chill. These things are all desires. Zombie scrolling, it's your nafs, It's your lower self trying to just drag you into these meaningless and sometimes sinful things. So you have to fight these things. In order to fight these things, you need consistency, you need habits, you need these things. I want you to highlight 3 things, and I want everybody to try and remember them. The benefits of consistency. The first is that consistency is the foundation of long-term achievements. Any long-term achievement that you do, you have to have consistency. And you know this because recently you've been doing some essays and you've been working on your book, and you know this, that you have to have consistency in order to achieve a long-term objective. 2, consistency helps you become disciplined and develop self-control. Discipline is not the same as rigidity. Rigidity, I have a structure and that's it, I'm going to stick to a structure. No, discipline is actually, you got a goal, and as dynamics change, as no plan survives contact with the enemy, as you're going throughout the day, things are dynamic, you still stick to the plan, you still work it out, you are disciplined from that perspective.
Just on that point, before you go to the third one, I think it's very powerful, but consistency also develops confidence. Yes. Right? Because confidence, we assume it's something that people are born with. It's not the fact.
Yeah.
Right? Confidence is something that's acquired or gained through being able to do something consistently again and doing it well. And how does that happen? That happens through repeating things over and over again. It's like when you started first public speaking, bro. You could, I'm same as with me. We struggled, right? It wasn't something natural to us. We weren't confident. We were scared.
Loughborough University.
Yeah, of course. I remember. But the point is that we were bad. And we weren't confident. We were afraid. We didn't like it. Right? I remember that one of the first talks I had to do was replace Hamza in a university. And imagine that, bro. Yeah. Huge crowd expecting Hamza, and then I turn up.
My first talk was replacing Hamza.
And may Allah bless him. You would put people in the deep end. But the thing is, it was a repetition.
Sometimes due to tarbiyah, sometimes due to just like last minute craziness, just turn up at this place.
But the good thing was that there was repetition, is consistently doing the same thing over and over again, which develops confidence. And that is very powerful, bro. When you want to change your habits, we think we want to change. I'm sick of myself. I'm doing X, Y, and Z sin. Start small. Going back to that point, do something that's manageable. You can do and repeat that, and that will build your self-confidence. Like, I can do this. I can do this again. I can do it again. And before you know it, you'll be doing bigger things. And you'll be building upon those steps. SubhanAllah, this is the way to go.
And celebrate. Celebrate, for example, you do zombie scrolling every day about an hour. Celebrate the fact that you notice your zombie scrolling. Then celebrate the fact that you do less of it, even by a minute. You could be 1% better every day, and then over a year, you'd be exponentially better, right? Now, another thing about consistency, first thing is, it's the foundation to long-term success. 2, it helps you become disciplined. 3, it helps you differentiate between what is important and not. Because what you do in the beginning of the year, or whenever you set a goal and you know you need to do that every day, that means you do that every day and you know that that is important. And the rest of the day you may be doing unimportant things, getting dragged into meaningless things. But if you are consistent, then you know what is important. You know, okay, this is how much reading of the Quran I need to do. This is how much I need to do in terms of self-development. This is what I need to do in terms of improving my fitness goals. And the most important, of course, is your consistency in the dawah, right? We were talking about this, giving our first talks. We're talking about a decade, approximately, right? We're talking about a decade. So I feel one of the things which has happened to some du'at over the years is that they fall off the bandwagon of dawah. They go through struggles, they go through issues, or just over time motivation. Now, this is another thing. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Do things that you don't like, whether you are motivated or you're not motivated. The difference between strong people and weak people is strong people do what they don't like. And as we know in Islam, that there could be something that you dislike, but it's good for you. So just to summarize these 3 things, it's the foundation to long-term goals. Consistency is a foundation to any success you want to have long-term. 2, it helps you become disciplined. And 3, it helps you differentiate between what is important and not important, meaning you're going to do important things. So try and remember this basic, the basic benefits of consistency. Of course, there's many, many more, but it's life-changing. For example, you could, theoretically, there's somebody who's out of shape, feeling down, all these things happening, they're trying to lose weight, it's not happening, and they're going through health issues. You could just do something small. You could say, why don't you buy some of these nice shoes which are padded in terms of walking? It'll motivate you. Once you get that motivation, okay, I'm going to start walking. Walking leads to a myriad of things. It leads to better heart health, better cardio health. It helps with your lower back pain. It helps you in terms of your metabolism and so on and so forth. Even dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all those feel-good factors. Yeah. So one factor, one rock that you kick starts off an avalanche. Like in the same way, consistency. If you get consistency in your life, it's going to create an avalanche of personal development and spiritual goals being fulfilled, and you will live a much better life, which is why I'm so passionate about consistency.
MashaAllah. And just two notes, I think, things that have come to mind. Number one, obviously be consistent with things that are good. Right? and you could be the best judge of this. Allah's given us that, that base ability to understand. So do things that are good consistently. Yeah. And number two, whenever you slip, don't slide. Yeah, this because it's inevitable. As humans, we'll slip. We've made a goal for ourselves. I'm going to do this consistently. You don't do it for 2 days. Doesn't mean it's a field day. Go and just I've messed up. Like we're losing weight. I've had a slice of pizza.
What the hell?
I'm going to have two pizzas every single day for the rest of the week. Yeah, just when you slip, that's fine. Get up and carry on the right plan. Don't let an opportunity slide all the way down to zero again. Basically.
Yeah, think of it like a mountain. You got the top, you got the bottom. Just because you slip a few steps doesn't mean you go to the bottom.
All the way down. Yeah, don't do that.
And the other thing to keep in mind is a setback is not a reset. It doesn't matter if you slip in terms. I mean, look at Hamza's mashallah very good in terms of his discipline and this and that. But his bad days.
Yeah.
He'll just munch like apple crumble or this or that, and he'll just go crazy. Yeah. So he can have those cheat days, those bad days, but that doesn't impact his overall health or overall physique because you got that.
He gets back on.
You get back on straight away, like other people, like Hijab, very good with his Quran. Musa Adnan, very good with his Quran.
Yes.
You can have 1 or 2 days off, or you haven't fulfilled what you wanted to do, but it doesn't mean you slide to the bottom. So that's key, guys. Consistency is key, which is why terrible habits like zombie scrolling should be at the top of your list to consistently destroy that. Because these things, they sap your willpower, they sap your energy, they sap your passion, your desire, your ability to focus. And as Muslims, we have to remind each other, which is why I wanted to do this video.
And just to wrap up, I think, it's a very important topic, brothers and sisters. Zombie scrolling, I know it's not the topic, but
it is.
Just social media consumption, overall. It's crazy. I did a video earlier. It's on my channel. He's going to link my channel in his description on this video, inshallah. I did a video on reading and the benefits of reading and why we can't read, Bro, the way reading just benefits your mind, it helps with memory, it helps with emotional disbalances, all of these things. The science on it is crazy, bro, But we struggle with it, we just don't get around to doing it. We just don't do things that are good. To do good things is not easy.
No.
To do good is always more difficult than to do bad. But make a habit. Again, be consistent. Try to be consistent with doing things that are good. Even if they're small, start small and build slowly. Don't expect to jump mountains overnight. It just doesn't work like that for a human being. So just at the end of the day, it's what's meaningful, bro.
Absolutely.
Being consistent with doing good is what's meaningful.
And do you know what? Don't think about, this is super important. I was listening to an audiobook, forgotten the name, something about discipline, but it's so important. Don't think I'm going to get happy once I reach the goal. Enjoy the happiness of every day working towards that goal. So you're like 1% towards that goal. Enjoy like every day. Like I think it's Arnold Schwarzenegger who said something about his, his whole, bodybuilding type of thing. He was talking about how every day you're basically working on that. Yeah. So it's the same thing. If you, for example, you're working on memorization, you've memorized one line that day, not that much. That is a percentage towards the overall thing. If it's a degree, same thing. So enjoy those moments, that 1% even success that you've had. And the most important thing, I would say, I think it's Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar, one of these guys, they said, you are the average of your 5 friends. Something like this, right? That you're the average of 5 friends. So the people around you, if they're out of shape, if they don't have lofty ambitions, if they are not religious, you are the product of those averages amongst you. So your environment is important. So if you have people that are pushing you for consistency, if you have people that they are inspiring you, that's going to help. So you should try and do that. Now, in the world of social media, the blessing is, obviously we're talking about physical friends here, people that you know, but at the same time, you can follow people that are positive with that type of vibe, and you sort of, in a way, have that sort of friendship with them. But really and truly, you should try and do that in your own life with your friends and family. Choose those people who are successful and home in and try and benefit from them, from the perspective that if they're consistent, that's going to become contagious. It's going to teach you to be consistent.
Yep.
Any last way of wrap?
Allah tells us in the Quran that, there's an ayah where Allah, and I'm paraphrasing, where Allah says, that man only has what he strives for, what he works towards, right? And remember, life is moving forward. Time is going, we're moving through time. So we have to work, and being consistent means to work consistently. You can't just sit there and say, I'm being consistent. You have to be doing something, action. So do good things consistently. That would help develop you, build your character, allow you to be a good person, allow you to live a meaningful life. And before you know it, if you're consistent with good things, after a year when you check back in, bro, you're going to be on a totally different level, compared to where you were a year back or 2 years ago. And that's it. Just otherwise we spend so much time, bro. Years go by and we look back at our lives like done nothing.
Yeah. This makes a big difference. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned the thing about time, because it's like you're all on the starting line. The guy with the gun fires in the air. Everyone's running. Time is running. Your health is running. Your wealth is running. Your life is running out. Your youth is going. Everything is being eroded. And you're walking around thinking, should I run? Should I not run?
No.
Should I? No, run. Strive. Fly. Just have your lofty goal towards Allah, because all lofty goals have to involve Allah. And have that precision, that surgical precision, that I want to achieve this, and you just go for it. You just don't stop, because look, at the end of the day, what does shaitan do? Shaitan makes work for idle thumbs. Shaitan makes you waste time. Remember, shaitan, you're going to go through, and I like this, I got this somewhere from the internet. You're either going to go through the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You're going to go through pain of discipline or pain of regret. So you might as well choose the pain of discipline, because the pain of discipline at least is temporary discipline, but at least you don't have regrets. But the pain of regret, I could have done this, I could have done that. So cut off your, don't treat the past as luggage you need to drag into the future. Cut it off at this moment, ignore it, live in this present moment, and then move forward. So until next time that we have this type of discussion, from me and Imran, Assalamu alaikum.